Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, 2016 NFL MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons go head-to-head against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. First and 10, it's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones, gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. The Packers and Falcons, they've had some memorable encounters in recent years. They met at the Georgia Dome in the 2016 NFC Championship game won by Atlanta, as well as the first regular season game at the new Mercedes-Benz Dome. That game also won by the Falcons 34-23, so revenge on the minds of the green and gold here. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Lets it again his man complete. That's right. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On third and long, it's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards for Julio Jones as wide receiver. One of the strongest receivers in the league. Runs over defensive backs, but also thinks his way through the game. Really knows how to collaborate with his quarterback, Matt Ryan.
On second down, here's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? get it to the best
Encroachment,
player, right?
defense.
Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So that one will be accepted. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
Exactly right, and you're trying to limit the number of plays and offense runs. You're trying to limit the number of possessions they have. And he was a guy that I targeted coming out of college and rated very highly for his playmaking skills on defense.
And now he has his first career interception. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Let's go, come on. Right out.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now Rodgers. And Green's got it over the middle. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rodgers off the bootleg. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Off the bootleg, Rodgers. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4. Here's J.K. Scott now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this will be taken at the 13. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Oh, fighting off the under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Perry in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Packers will get the football at their own 20-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Get reset. Hey, easy. That's fine, yeah.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Hurry up, hurry up. Zoom, zoom. Hey, check 26. Turn up. Green 19
to throw is Rodgers. Off the bootleg. Flush to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Rodgers now on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defender to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Room here to run. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at that nice little drive brewing right here.
Hey, where am I going? Jump out! Jump out! Yeah, Liz.
Rodgers now on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra. Linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. It gets it over the middle of the column. And he showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Hey, let's go, come on. Right up. Get reset. Hey, easy. Hey. 319, on.
On second down, it's Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On third down, here's Jones. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And Crosby puts it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that run.
Here's Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The six-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And that's going to make it fourth down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that will help him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And it's complete to Lewis. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. On first down, Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Now it's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cobb, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes our score 17-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Ryan. And some room to roam now. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and 2. Now Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now Ryan on 1st down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Nick Perry. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And it is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game. So you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get this started up in Orchard Park, an AFC's matchup with the Jets in town to take on Buffalo. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. 2 touchdown passes there for Eli. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And that one all tied against the visiting Saints. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, but you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rodgers now to throw. That's complete to Cobb. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26.
Off the bootleg. Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Rodgers going to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Aaron Rodgers no longer has a safety blanket named Jordy Nelson to utilize in the red zone anymore. But picking up Jimmy Graham, that's a heck of a consolation prize. Remember, Jimmy Graham has had 4 seasons of 10 touchdowns or more, including 10 with the Seahawks in 2017.
Extra point try now for Crosby. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And this time, he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
To throw on third down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones.
Still
there.
First down.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. After the penalty, here's Freeman. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle. On second down, Freeman. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26. Jump out.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And left side here, it's Graham. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end, Graham. Packer first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
To throw, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. After that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He's going to loft one. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 48 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Hurry up. We are going. Zoom. Hey, check 26. 319.
Rodgers again now. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No,
he?
he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Crosby on now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big... And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And give him a gain of 37. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second down, Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Now Rodgers being chased out left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out come the Falcons now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Encroachment, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
A gain of 6 there on first.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball to the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Throw right side caught by Ridley. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. This one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
The give is to Jones. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. The Packers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. His target, it's Cobb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A give to Jones. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Oko over here.
They'll go again to Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, it's Jones. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Green Bay, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.